guys, welcome back to the Colcom Podcast. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Rose.
Okay, today we're going to look at yet another one of the topics that's discussed at Colcom. Are you ready?
I don't know about this one.
What's our topic?
Let's talk about arguing.
Oh, well, I love arguing.
All right, we got to get an
I'm bad at it, though.
get an angry face on.
Okay, so our first question is, when was the last time you argued with someone? Why did you argue about it?
Well, off the top here, I got to say I'm very non-confrontational, which means I avoid conflict. I rarely argue. I think that's something that I want to try, but I usually try to avoid arguments. So when I see this question, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe my husband a while ago, but yeah.
I would say, when was the last time? So the last time I argued with someone, it was my good friend Jamie. What we argued about, I can't really remember. It was very trivial. But why did we argue? Because we were drinking. So we were, I think we were a few soju bottles in the hole. And so we were just like, basically, we just got to the moment. Like, usually we're very open-minded and we don't argue and we just laugh. But it's just the kind of like going, ugh. I disagree. No, you never listen to me kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
True feelings coming out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was just an argument. Like, it was like we didn't yell, but it was just, I remember it was an argument because there was at one point I just got frustrated and just said, forget this. And I just left. We were at a Noribong by that time. So yeah, it was like Icha already. And we were like, and we'd been in that Noribong and we were just arguing and I just said, forget this, and I just stomped off.
Well, yeah, it's maybe your body saying you need to get out for whatever reason.
Yeah. Number 2.
How do you avoid arguments? Very easily. You just walk away or keep it in. Yeah.
So usually, if I'm not drunk, I'm able to avoid arguments. I'm very open-minded, so I do see the argument from everything from both sides. So it doesn't really bother. So I avoid it, as well as I have a great sense of humor too. So that really dulls down the whole explosive situation.
I'm learning from you, and I'm listening because I'm like, oh, there's some things that I want to learn. Yeah.
So like, even in an argument, obviously there's two sides, and I'll actually say something very abrupt, and that someone would disagree. I'm like, no, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of like
diffuse the situation,
kind of cross the line, but then quickly withdraw, saying, no, I'm just joking. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I wouldn't be like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3. What kind of arguments do you dislike?
I think that's a good question. I would just say about an empty subject. I guess when people are not getting to the point of what is the real problem. Yeah. So like kind of just arguing for arguing's sake.
I think that's like what's called like a straw man case.
Okay.
Yeah. So like you're trying to discuss a subject, but you're just circling it around, and you're not actually attacking what the problem is. Yeah. You're just basically mentioning one fact about it, but it's just a small element, and then that one fact, and then going around, but not actually looking at the inner subject.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I don't like your hair. It's like, what? Is that the real problem?
Yeah, and you have a conversation about, and the person's argument is about shampoo. Their defense is shampoo.
Or
what arguments I don't like? I don't like arguing about politics.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a powder keg. It's very explosive. So politics and religion are two things. I was always told, like, never, when you meet a stranger, never talk about politics or religion, because that really starts an argument up very quickly.
Yep, it can really snowball and get worse and worse.
Yeah, and then you find yourself like too deep into the argument that you're like, and you want to escape.
And it also almost can change your opinion on someone that you should have had like more of a cordial, professional relationship.
Yeah. So right now, like an argument I don't want to participate in is about like vaccines. And you've talked about like if you run into an anti-vaxxer. So that's something I don't want to, that's something I dislike.
Yeah. Yeah. We're starting to open a can of worms because, there's other topics
like,
to avoid.
Hey, can we just talk about the weather? Do you want to read number 4?
Do you usually change your mind easily? Are you open to new ideas? I would say I'm very flexible. Yeah, I'm definitely open to new ideas.
Yeah, I want to be a people person, and I know that I'm about a subject, I don't have all the information. So if someone actually presents a good case, it could really change my mind easily. I'm like, oh, I didn't really think about it that way. Yeah, that is a good point. You know, you might have persuaded me. You might have made me switch sides.
Absolutely. I feel I'm very similar.
Yeah.
I'm very much a people pleaser, you know, just, wanting to make the other person happy, but also, open to change my mind.
I think that's important too, because if you have like narrow views, then you're just going to like echo chamber. So like an echo chamber is basically you're just going to be in a group of people and they all have the same views, and then that group of people won't evolve and they won't be able to, see new information. They're just like
life is better with new experiences.
Yeah. Number 5. Do you think it is best to argue or just walk away, and why?
It's best to argue if you are both ready. I think if both people kind of want to make something better or resolve the issue, then you got to argue it out.
Yeah.
But if you're not ready, walking away is perfectly fine.
For a stranger, walking away is important. Now, I do think arguing is important, even especially in a relationship too. Because if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to be like equals. And if one walks away, then you're not trying to find a compromise together. So for me, one thing that's important is if I'm in a relationship, I have to be able to have, we both have to have an argument. We both have to fight for our views and to stay together instead of giving up.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. Yeah.
Number 6, what kind of personality traits do you like?
Oh, again, going back to the being open to new ideas. Someone who's very kind of out there.
Okay.
Yeah, just being able to say what it is. Someone who's extroverted, likes being social, likes talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So people ask me, hey Jeff, what's your ideal partner? And they're expecting, tall, beautiful, whatever, dark, long dark hair. But actually a trait that I'm a conversationalist.
Yes.
A listener, and also someone that brings information to the relationship, opens my eyes to stuff. So those are traits that are very important to me. Even in my friends too, someone that can have a conversation with me and listen and go back and forth is important. I don't want, an empty husk, an empty body where I'm just spouting information and nothing's getting returned to me.
I feel it's almost like a tennis match.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pass the ball. You don't always want to be passing the ball. You want the ball to come back.
And you're not trying to spike the ball too. You're, sometimes you just you lob it up for them to give you an easy pass. Number 7, do you think it's disrespectful to argue with your elders?
No. I think old ideas should be challenged.
Yeah.
I think there's a time and a place, though. So not out in public, but I think we should.
Yeah. I have an argument. It's a conversation. It's going back and forth. A lot of my drinking friends, they're 20 years older than me. But we're peers. We actually have full conversations, and we talk, and we might argue about stuff because they have the same I have the same information that they do, the current information, and maybe if they have an old way of thinking and they haven't really opened their mind and they're still stubborn, it's good to have an argument with them to try to persuade them to have more modern thoughts.
Mm-hmm. We're on the same page for this one. Good.
Yeah. And so it's not disrespectful. It's actually respectful, I feel.
Yeah. And it's trying to get them to understand your side as well.
Yeah. If no one will probably ever see this because my father will never come to Korea. But if you see me and my father, we're just arguing with each other back and forth all the time.
About what?
About random bullshit.
The weather or the politics?
We don't talk the weather, some politics, sports, everything, just food, anything, any topic. Like we're always just picking at each other. And even that, he's like, well, why are you always arguing with me? I'm like, because I'm a copy of you and you want to argue with everyone.
Oh, jeez.
Do you want to read number 8?
How do you feel when someone disagrees with everything you have to say? The expressions on the sheet, drive me crazy, make someone sick. I feel trapped.
If they disagree, this would be a situation I would walk away from because obviously you and I, if someone disagrees with everything, this person is not someone I want to interact with.
Yeah. I feel like it's good to get challenged, but when you probably feel drained,
right,
that it's just, you're taking so much energy to try to get them to understand.
Right.
And you're trying to understand them.
Yeah.
So walk away.
Yeah, just no, wrong. I'm like, I know some stuff. Okay. But one thing that pisses me, like people that disagree and then they use like their educational credentials and that really like going, I have a doctorate. I'm like going, okay, whatever. I'm still a human being. I have opinions too.
Yeah. That's almost a little step further. They're shutting you down.
They shut me down. Yeah. So I hate that. It drives me crazy. It makes me sick, frustrated. It makes me want to tear my hair out, even though I don't have. Number 9. How do you grab someone's attention when you're making a point? What do you do to lose it?
Oh, grab someone's attention. I think slowing down.
Okay.
I think sometimes if you get in an argument, then you just kind of built up and you keep kind of getting spiraling. But if you slow down and kind of more pointed, then I feel like silence will help get your point across.
Right. Yeah. Silence can be deadly too. And then it's almost like a restart button. Yeah. One thing I'm not like, you could see this on social media. I'm not going to do it because it turns off the mic. Like the people that go clap, 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 clap. Like, you have to understand. Oh. This is important.
Yeah. The physical.
That's physical. It's like a Karen thing.
Oh, really?
I think so. It's like direct talk. It's very, but if someone did that to me, like to clap in my face, trying to get my attention, I would walk away.
Yeah, similar to snapping.
Yeah.
Like to get someone's attention. Yeah.
And how do you lose someone's attention?
Snapping. Like for me, like the physical thing, I think, it comes from my dad would snap. And it just feels like disrespectful. Yeah.
I would say someone that loses my attention if they're arguing a point, but they're not bringing any new information. They just keep saying the same thing over again. Repetition it causes someone to lose attention to the argument.
Gotcha.
And number 10, when you want to tell someone something important, how do you attract people's attention? Again,
time and slow. I feel like having set a time to have a conversation. I think that's very important. Just having it like you walk in the door and you're just like, hey, the big news, and then drop it on them, then it can be quite shocking. So sitting someone down. So
I do stand-up comedy. So this is something I have to grab someone's attention. You obviously the role of the comedian is to get someone's attention. You want to tell them what's important to you, tell a story. For me, it's being true to the story you're telling. So don't go in with false emotions. So like, you know, don't try to pretend to be, if you're not a high energy person, don't try to grab someone's attention by being high energy, because that's going to be, you're going to lose it very quickly. What I actually do is sometimes when I get introduced on stage, people go, oh, this is Jeff. He's from Canada. So the first thing I do is I go, bonjour, because obviously I'm from Canada, and then that grabs the attention of them. So it's, just having like a good intro, a good introductory like word or like keywords is a great way to grab people's attention, to hold their attention.
Humor. Yeah, humor is a great skill. Yeah. It's something that needs to be practiced. Though you can be like, you might be funny, but you could always be funnier. Yeah. But so take inspiration from people too. Yeah. If you see a great speaker, try to emulate, copy how they talk. And I'm learning. Again, I feel like, that's something I want to adapt. Okay. Well, so very cool.
Well, you're a teacher too. So how do you get the attention of your class, of the people that you're
again, I kind of take that step back. Okay. I feel like there are a lot of people in this world that they try to grab your attention, which is great. But for me, then I kind of almost do the opposite. I'm like, okay, you have a lot going on in your life. I'm just here to take that step back and have you come and say your story. Yeah. So.
Great. Well, that concludes the topic of arguing. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yep.
If you have further questions about Colcom or anything about that, you can visit them on their website at colcom.co.kr. I've been Jeff.
And this is Rose.
Bye-bye.
Take care.